Well, thanks everyone. Appreciate you all gathering here. It saves me from having to have individual conversations with a bunch of folks, which I'm always happy to do. But just want to make sure that we're getting the information out to our community members. We've done a lot of personal phone calls and different things to notify folks through social media and other measures, but really helpful that you get the message out there. Just want to be crystal clear. The 911 service, emergency services, general police operations as a whole are operating just as they always had. Our community does not need to worry about what happens if they call 911. That process is happening seamlessly. There's investigative pieces that happen just naturally the way we do things. All of that is working in the manner in which we would want it to work. This digital security incident, the city did a very smart thing by shutting down the systems to make sure that they could isolate that and not let that spread. That obviously created some issues for us internally with some kind of systems that we log into, Wi-Fi access, sites that we keep locally that we communicate through really, really great work through our employees. We have established already workarounds for almost all of those. We are asking our community for some patience in some areas. Certain things that are automized and helped through processes that we use these systems for, like our property room. If you're coming down to get a copy of a report or doing a data request, there will be some slowdowns in some of those things. But to be crystal clear, there's absolutely no problem with our emergency responses. Our investigations are going on and continuing as they have. And so the kind of the high ticket items that I think a community member would be concerned about are really going on uninterrupted. In fact, we have established so many workarounds and things that have made this work for us that it's highly likely that most of our community, had we not already talked about this, wouldn't even know that there was something going on as far as police, and I think for fire I could probably say the same, are happening. So just wanted to make sure that our community knows that they're still operating with confidence, that they know that they don't have anything to worry about. When you pick up the phone and call 911 or you call for help, we are coming. Nothing about that has changed, nor will it change, and we're in a really, really good place here in St. Paul. There are a bunch of smart people working to get the stuff in the background back up and running and get those things fixed. But to be clear, emergency response is going on uninterrupted, and it's working very, very well. Chief, would you like to add anything to that?
Sure. Good afternoon, Jeremiah Milk, Assistant Chief, St. Paul Fire. I just want to add that the fire department is working with city leadership and technical experts to quickly resolve this issue. I want to be very clear, reiterate what Chief Henry said. If you have a fire emergency, rescue emergency, or medical emergency, please call 911 and we'll respond as we always have. We are fully operational. So there's some back channel stuff. It's with phones at headquarters, but other than that, on the front line, we're responding as we always have, and we'll be there for your calls.
If there's any questions, I'll try to answer them if I can. And then I know we have some folks here to talk about some other specific things if that's something of importance.
Chief, any idea when things will get back online fully?
I don't. That's obviously the experts are dealing with that. We're just operating and making sure that the police department and the fire department both are operating at full speed.
Any communication issues with officers in the field and the squads, like through the terminals or anything like that?
Nope. So just to be clear, and that's a question I think some people bring up a lot, is we do a lot of communication via the computer and the laptop. We train, when I was trained in and when I was a trainer, we train our officers to operate without that system, so you'll spend a whole week with the computer closed, and so you can't rely on that. If and when there's a piece of information that would have came across the computer that they couldn't get, they just air it over the air. So it basically is like having a telephone and saying you can't text right now, well then you just call me. And so that comes out. We've had great help and support from the Ramsey County Emergency Communications Center, but again, there are workarounds for all of that, and so all of that's gone uninterrupted.
But those terminals are affected, so the workarounds come into play, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they have, but we've already identified and established and are implementing solutions for that even now. So nothing suffered over the last 48 hours, and now those things are actually coming back online for those pieces.
Does that go for, if someone's pulled over running warrants, running driver's license, is that?
Yeah, all of that is unaffected. In fact, I'll be clear that our ticket writers are electric as well. They still work, so if you're going to squeal out of the parking lot here after you leave, we're probably still going to pull you over and write you a ticket. They all still work.
You mentioned a delay in some of the paperwork. What kind of delay you thinking? A couple of days, or any idea what?
Again, that speaks to when the system will be fired back up. A lot of these programs that we're involved with, we can access through other means. The big ones that are driving the city, I hope that they don't rush it. I know they won't. I'm confident that they're doing a very, very smart job on making sure that nothing is turned back on until it's safe and secure, and we've identified any issues with it.
As you all continue sort of working through this, is there any concern that your crew's information has been accessed by these bad actors?
You know, obviously the city has a lot of data, and some of that is obviously employee data. So we, since day one, have been communicating that to our folks, and that's being looked at. And obviously there's lots of things that everyone can do in their personal lives to guard against that, as well as what we do here at work. And that's something we've had conversation with about. And to be honest with you, our workforce is very stoic, so they're very, very good at accepting that and understanding that, and they haven't been unwavering about that.
Parking meter system affected? Do those electronic meters work?
Those are still up and running as far as I know.
Can you give us some more clear examples of where the workarounds that you mentioned?
You know, I could, but what we don't want to do is, we don't know at this point what the goal was of infiltrating the city system. So I certainly wouldn't want to stand here today and start saying, well, here's how we get around that, if indeed the goal was to maybe crash the system or something. Again, we don't know that. But so I'll just leave it at the fact that the systems that we need to operate at full function all the time are still intact. We're working them. We're fine.
One more question.
You mentioned the public records and there being delays there. Do you have any concerns about preserving public records or body cam footage at all with this data breach?
No, we don't. In fact, there have been departments in other places in the country where something like this happens, and they shut down their body camera program. Ours is up and running. We're recording. We're still uploading, doing all those things. All of that gets saved and preserved. None of that is being impacted at all.
Could it be breached though?
Negative. No.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, and thanks for getting the word out about this. The confidence of our community is the most important thing. Appreciate it.
Thank